Hello, everyone who just jumped on. Welcome to Mission Mondays. I'm here with some of my good friends from all over the place and mostly Kansas City today, actually. And we're going to be talking about a few fun things this morning. Okay, so um, three things that I want to hit on today with everybody is one, be ready and rowdy. That's just such a feisty phrase. I love it. Be ready and rowdy. We're going to talk about that. Pray, show, share. Man, that is something that has just been that God has been really, really pounding me with lately, and seen some amazing things happen. And then third, defeat does not exist in God's dojo. Any Karate Kid fans out there? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, cool. Jen, what's up? So yeah, like Cobra Kai, they say defeat does not exist in this dojo, does it? And we're going to talk a little bit about that, defeat not existing in God's dojo. Okay, so first is be ready and rowdy. All right, so I want to share this with you. In 1 Peter 3:15, it says this: Instead, you must worship Christ as Lord of your life. And if someone asks about your Christian hope, always be ready to explain it. So I know we've got Emma on here today, who I've hung out with, is a friend of mine, and she can be, you're feisty as all get out. I know you're rowdy, Emma, but I know you can also get a little shy sometimes. And anyone else would say, I tend to the timid side of things sometimes when it comes to new people or meeting new people or whatever. Well, a lot of times it's hard to the biggest hump to overcome when we are sharing the gospel with people is just our fear. And fear comes from a lot of places: insecurity, just doubt, or whatever. But a lot of times the first thing we have to overcome is just our plain old fear. Because when we start talking to people about the fact that Jesus is alive, and that he takes away the sin of the world, and if we follow him, he unleashes heaven in us, and all these things, that changes the game and the conversation. And we quickly can think like they're going to think I'm a weirdo. Okay. Uh, Anyone ever had that instance before? Yeah, where you're like, I really want to, I really want to like tell this person that Jesus is alive, but man, that's just gonna, it could change, it could make me a weirdo, and then they might not want to, right? I don't know, it might change the relationship somehow, or whatever. um Anybody, just, you can silently lift a hand up. Yeah. Yeah, it's natural. I get it, man, it's normal. But Peter says, guys, we need to always be ready to give a reason for the hope that is within us. Okay, we need to always be ready. Okay. And it pays to practice understanding and articulating the gospel. One thing I do every morning, I've shared the gospel, with a ton of people. But one thing I still do every morning is I pray the gospel. I think on the gospel. I still meditate on the gospel every single morning, and even ask the Lord, okay, how do you want me to articulate that, speak that, share that with someone today? And oftentimes the Lord will use, even word for word, some of the stuff that he told me to share when it comes to the gospel. So I'm going to tell you a quick story that happened just recently at Papa John's. Anybody like pizza? You guys like pizza? I love pizza. All right. So I was in Papa John's, and they were flooded with orders. Everybody's pizza was backed up. Everybody's angry. People were yelling at people. People were asking for refunds. I don't know what was going on back there, but it was a crazy night. And I'm standing next to a young lady, mid-20s, and I could tell she's door dashing because she's got her phone out. She's looking, she's got the orders, and she's stressing. And you could just see that she was frustrated, stressed, because this order that she had is going to be late. She's probably not going to get a tip, right? Her day is her night's going downhill in a hurry. And so I just said, okay, Holy Spirit, open a door for me to talk to this young woman. I stopped, I prayed. I said, all right, open a door for me to talk to her. I pray. Help me, help me to share your gospel with her. So I walked up next to her. I said, hey, sis. I said, are you door dashing? Yeah. And I said, okay. I was like, well, your pizza's a little late, huh? She said, yeah. And I said, listen, I can see you're stressed. I can see that you're frustrated, but I know the Prince of Peace. See, that right there is a game changer though, right? Because I could have just saddled up next to her and be like, do you need a hug? And that would have been fine. But right from the jump, I'm pointing to the lordship, the authority of Jesus Christ. Hey man, I know the Prince of Peace. Do you need some peace right now? She looks at me, her eyes start to tear up. She said, I do. And I said, okay, is this about more than the pizza? Yes. And she starts to talk to me about this custody battle she's in with her son, about, just all this stuff that's heavy in her heart. She's out here working multiple jobs. She's door dashing tonight so that she can afford lawyers' fees for, it was beautiful. She just starts to open up about what's going on in her life, in her world. And I listen. So I want to pray for that. I want to pray that Jesus, the Prince of Peace, gives you peace right now, even though there's no reason for it, even though you haven't gotten your pizza yet, and your circumstance hasn't changed. I like to pray about your circumstance, and I like to pray for peace. And I'm going to pray in the name of Jesus. Is that okay? She says, yes. And then she even talked to me about her background a little bit, spiritual background. I used to go to church, but, there was some pain there, some baggage there, some things there. And I just haven't been. I said, okay, listen, Jesus isn't about religion or institution. He's alive and he's about relationship. And I believe he's going to give you peace, but also Jesus takes away our mess. He takes away our junk. He takes away our sin, death. He beat it. And he unleashes heaven to us. He gives us heaven if we follow him. So I just simply said, we can pray right now for you to start following Jesus and leave some of this stuff behind. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do that right now? She looks at me and she says, yes, I do. Isn't that amazing? And so I prayed with her right there to start following Jesus in the middle of a chaotic, stressful, crazy situation, surrounded shoulder to shoulder almost by people in Papa John's. And this sweet young lady prayed to follow Jesus. Okay. So two things. One, I was, when I saw the moment happen, right, I was ready, meaning that morning I had prayed, I had asked the Lord, how do you want me to share? And I was praying in my prayer time that morning what I just spoke to that woman. Jesus is alive. He takes away death. He takes away our sin, and he gives us heaven. He gives us life, unleashes heaven when we follow him. So that morning I was praying that, reminding myself of the gospel, so that in that moment when I'm there with her, man, it was on the tip of my tongue. Okay. I was ready to share it. All right. And then the second was I was rowdy. All right. Rowdy, which means this, guys, every time we get out of bed, we are in a fight. We're in a knockdown, drag out fight with the enemy of our souls, with the enemy of the God who made us. And the reason the struggle is so real is because it's been spoken and the enemy knows that it's through us that deliverance is going to come through the whole world. The Lord has spoken that he's going to use us to defeat the enemy. So the enemy, man, his biggest thing is he wants to get the fight out of you. He wants to get the fight out of you. He wants to keep you from being rowdy. He wants to keep you distracted. He wants to keep you out of the fight, out of the mission, away from sharing the gospel, not thinking about the kingdom coming through everything you're doing. He wants to just, when your feet hit the floor, to get you distracted and think of worldly stuff all day. Because if he can get the fight out of you, the kingdom fight out of you, then at least as far as you're concerned, he can win. but he will lose. He's already lost, and he will lose every time you step into a situation and you are ready and you are rowdy, meaning, listen, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. I'm about to punch you in the mouth, devil. This young lady sitting next to me in Papa John's, I could sit there and be frustrated because my little girl's going to be late to her ballet practice because this pizza is late. I could sit there and be frustrated like everyone else here because I'm not getting my food. But you know what? No, 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 no. I'm about to be rowdy up in this. This young lady needs freedom. This young lady needs peace. And I know the Prince of Peace, the authority of peace. So I'm about to do what I do. I'm about to fight. I'm going to be rowdy. So first thing is, man, be ready and rowdy. Okay. Think of Emily and Papa John's. The second is when you're ready, when you're rowdy, when you step into that, guys, three things I want to help you remember. Ready? Pray, show, share. When it came to Emily, I did three things. First, I prayed. I surrendered my heart to the Lord, asked him to fill me, use me, empower me, submitted to him right there in that Papa John's. Okay. And I asked her if she needed prayer as well. But I stopped. I prayed. It recalibrates your heart. It gets your eyes on Jesus. It makes you missional. It gets you ready to be rowdy. Pray. Okay. The second thing I did was I showed. Meaning, man, I demonstrated in just stopping and praying for her and caring about her. I demonstrated that I was not like everyone else in that Papa John's. I wasn't frustrated about my pizza. I could care less about it. I wasn't stressed out about what was going on around me. I could care less about it. I demonstrated by stopping and focusing with compassion on her that something that I was caring about something bigger than what was going on right there. That was demonstrating the kingdom of heaven to her just by simply stopping and saying, hey, I see you. You're stressing, aren't you? I see you. I feel you. I love you. Boom. Right there. That was a demonstration of something different. Demonstration of the kingdom. Okay. So show, demonstrate the kingdom. And then lastly, share. Tell them the gospel. Okay. The game changes. Heaven is unleashed when we're faithful to share the truth. The truth is Jesus is alive. He gave his life in love for us, and he rose up again from the grave. He beat death, and that's what he does. He beats death. If we follow him, he takes away the power of death. He gives us new life, unleashes heaven to us. Don't be afraid to share that with people. I'm telling you, when you pray first and when you show them that you care, when you show them heaven and you're faithful to share the truth like that, you'll be surprised how many people will answer and say, I would like to pray for that. I would like to pray for that. I think it will shock you how many people actually will accept it and follow Jesus. All right. So pray, show, share. All right. And then the last is that defeat doesn't exist in God's dojo. That one just gets me hyped. Sorry. I'll stop. Defeat doesn't exist in God's dojo, guys. Colossians 2:14-15 says this. He canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross. In this way, he disarmed the spiritual rulers and authorities. He shamed them publicly by his victory over them on the cross. Guys, the main thing that separates Christianity, the following of Jesus Christ, the loving of Jesus Christ, from every other religion on the planet is that we claim to know a God who has actually risen from the dead publicly. It's not a myth. It's not a story that's made up. It is a historical fact that Jesus actually rose from the dead and appeared to over 500 witnesses, walked up to people, said, touch my side, touch my hands, that he actually literally came back from the dead and he's alive. And he declared that he has victory over death publicly in front of everyone, shaming death publicly by coming back alive again on the cross. So here's the thing. Jesus, be brave, guys. Be brave, because Jesus has already won. He's already won. We don't have anything to be afraid of. We don't have, it says he disarmed the devil. He disarmed spiritual authorities that want to attack us. He disarmed death, publicly shamed it by coming back to life by his victory on the cross. We don't have anything to be afraid of. Jesus is alive and he's already won the victory. So be brave. So 3 things, guys, and we're going to close it out. Be ready and be rowdy. That's my favorite one. Pray, show, share, and be brave, because Jesus has already won. All right? All right. I love you guys. For those of you guys who are just tuning in for the recording, thank you for hanging out with us today. Man, I pray that the Lord helps you be brave. I pray that you're ready and rowdy. And I pray that you think, pray, show, share when the Lord gives you those opportunities and you step into them fearlessly. I love you, and God bless you.